Good evening. Welcome to Spirit of Unity's special Sunday message for the second week of Advent 2025. So I'm going to begin by lighting the Advent candles, the wreath candles. Last week we talked about hope, and this week we're going to talk about peace. Okay. Try to light anything on fire. So, how was your week thinking about hope? Did you try to find reasons? Did you get anything from last week's message? If you didn't hear it, you can go back and watch it for the first time or watch it again. But we are in a time where we need hope and we're very hungry for peace. It seems that our world is crushed in a desire for peace and not being able to find it. Everywhere you look, all around the globe, we're aching for peace. We're aching for peace in our country, and we're aching for peace in our families, and very often in our own minds and hearts. So it's important today that we take a look at finding peace. The peace that we're finding is the peace that passes understanding. It's not that easy to understand at a surface level, so we're going to be looking a little deeper. Many of the signs in our own country right now are lacking peace between neighbors, between religious groups or ethnic origins or lifestyle choices. And in order to find our healing and wholeness, we need to bring back that peace. The signs are everywhere. From taking the word, for example, Department of Defense, which is just we're here to defend ourselves, to Department of War. And that is being expressed. Now, wouldn't you think we'd be tired of war? Don't you think? Because war never really wins anything. It may temporarily end, but it's not been able to be stopped. I wanted to share something that Charles Fillmore, the co-founder of Unity, said. First of all, he said, harmony and tranquility, which is peace, are derived from awareness of the Christ consciousness. Jesus said, my peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you. So it's already given to us. Why are we not claiming it? Then it says, until world peace is based on the divine love of law, and this law is incorporated into the pact of peace, as well as the minds of those who sign the pact, there will be no permanent peace. Each one of us is a part of the establishment of peace in our own hearts and minds, and even in the country that we live in. We need to be peacemakers, and this says a peacemaker is one who has the ability to say peace to the turbulent waves of thought that have them obey. A peacemaker. Blessed are the peacemakers. How do we stop what's going on? How do we move to that higher state of consciousness? You see, it's all about consciousness. In Unity, we teach life is consciousness. And what is consciousness but the being fully aware of our lives, spiritual principles, how things work, awareness of cause and effect, and the law of mind action, which we talked about last time. Excuse me. And, there was a song in South Pacific, and I don't actually know that I've seen South Pacific, but the song, which when I heard it, it stuck in my mind because the words in it were, they have to be carefully taught. See, this is why consciousness switches in on and off and up and down in different directions, because we go through learning phases, and we either learn and we're good, or we don't learn and we have a temporary peace or state of peace, and then we're back warring again. It would be nice to be able to stop it. Now, so sorry. If you were talking about that in your physical body, do you know what that's called when there is no peace? It's called dis-ease. Dis-ease or disease. It is a state that is the opposite of peace. Charles Fillmore, also, again, co-founder of Unity, said, the mind of peace precedes all healing. So many times we get ourselves into such a snit in our present level of awareness and consciousness that we are unable to move beyond it. He also said that anger poisons the blood. Now, science has proven that. Down the road, scientists prove that the hormones that are released when someone is angry are actually toxic to our health. It's the same thing. It's toxic to our community. It's toxic to our country. It's toxic to the global community and probably whatever is going on out there, unless the aliens are ahead of us there. But we want to get rid of the anger and replace it with a sense of peace. In the Course in Miracles, it says, I can choose peace instead of this. Now, I'm going to tell on myself a little bit. This past several months ago, there was someone I was working with, and it was one of those times when it was someone who just seemed to tap dance on my last nerve. And I tried to practice and employ all my knowledge of how to be peaceful and overcome and right thinking and all that stuff, but it just kind of got to me. It got to me, excuse me, because I was overworked. I overworked myself all the time, okay? I was overtired, and I was experiencing the pain of the broken hip that I'm knowing God is taking care of as we speak. So I wound up sometimes saying things or complaining or griping more than is normal for me. So what did I do? I got mad at myself. Stop! I justified. I did all that. You probably did that some of this week, especially with the holidays approaching. But what I really learned is one of the things, when you are in that state of anger or upset or overtired, we must take care of ourselves. If we want peace, we have to take a break from the things that are giving us a sense of dis-ease. If you watch too much, news and disturbing things on TV, you got to take a break from it. Just like last week, I said you got to take a break sometimes from the dessert consciousness, from the fantasy consciousness and work with reality sometimes, it's the same time with this. We have to take care of ourselves and make a space for that peace. Interesting thought. I love to use this example. When I was a kid, and probably last week if I had the choice and thought of it, I used to love to take a bowl of water and take my finger and spin it around and around and around and around and around and around and around, and I would make this whirlpool. And it was like, woo! And the water would spin, and this little tunnel thing would go down looking like a reverse tornado. And that's sometimes the way our lives are. But do you know how to stop it? Now, you know there's the center in the whirlpool. You could put your finger in there, but nothing's going to happen. It's going to be all swirling around you, and you're going to be stuck. Or you can put your finger there and push it in the other direction. Not good. It just upsets everything. You want to find that peace in the whirlpool. Get centered. Just get calm and put it in the midst of everything that's going out, and remind yourself, I can choose peace instead of this. And so can you. There's a saying that though Christ 1,000 times be in Bethlehem be born, until he's born in you, your heart and soul will be forlorn. So what we're seeking is that we're teaching ourselves, you have to be carefully taught. We're teaching ourselves to find peace in the midst of whatever's going on. And Jesus taught that. Jesus taught about the importance of peace and love. And one of the things that I just want to invite you to explore is what is happening to our awareness of Jesus/Christianity in these days. Because Jesus is being maligned, Christianity is being misunderstood, and you'll hear it everywhere. Life is consciousness. Do not be carefully taught that whatever somebody says in order to condemn someone else because of what they see as their errors and not being Christian. Beware. The definition of Christian, Jesus wasn't a Christian. Jesus was Jesus, by the way. And the term Christian, just so you know, it back in the old days was a slur. It was like saying the N-word. It was like, oh, he's one of those Christians. And but that wasn't Jesus' intention. Why do they call us Christians? Because we follow Jesus. That we follow the Christ teaching. And by the way, the Christ teaching was not limited to Jesus. Jesus did not say, worship me. Jesus said, follow me. Follow me. I came to bring you life and life abundant. Everybody life and life abundant. So we cannot judge others. If we don't like what someone else is doing, then don't do it. But it is not our place. Their experience, their relationship with God is theirs. Well, how can we be a peacemaker? Because remember, the Bible says, Jesus said, blessed are the peacemakers. Well, what if we just sit there and not tell somebody they're on a path that's not good? Sometimes people say to me, well, you can't help someone else. They got to do what they got to do. And that really frustrates me, because if I had a friend standing on the tracks and I saw the train coming, I'd go, excuse me, train coming, tracks. You might want to get off the tracks. I wouldn't tell them you're evil because you're standing on the tracks. So yes, when God gives us an opportunity to share a positive spiritual principle with someone else, of course you do it. You do it. And you really want to make sure you are enlightened to what is the right thing to do. You know, the things that we are experiencing right now is a dis-ease in consciousness on planet Earth. Who knows? Maybe out in the universe, but right now we know it's on planet Earth, and we know it very much in our own lives, in our country, in our families. This is a time to find peace through healing and find healing through peace. Blessed are the peacemakers. How can you be a peacemaker? You show up, you stand up, and you speak your truth with love. And I invite you during this coming week to take advantage of all the inevitable opportunities you will have to practice being a peacekeeper. And I want you to know that the light of God surrounds you, the love of God enfolds you, the power of God protects you, and the presence of God watches over you. Wherever you are, God is, and all is well. Have a blessed week, my friends. Have hope and practice peace.